Welcome back to the F350 build. Today I'm going to be changing the fuel filters on my truck. There are two fuel filters. There's one on top of the engine and there's one by the fuel tank. The reason I am changing my fuel filters is because the truck has 72,000 miles and I have no clue if they've been changed before. Also, I get this indication on the dash that there's water in the fuel. Probably the first fuel filter has some contamination. There's a sensor in it and it just keeps bringing this up. The truck, when it sees this, reduces power and I just want to get this fixed and resolved so I don't have this light on the dash and showing me an indication. Let's check these fuel filters out. There's two of them in this box. So there are two filters in the box. There is an O-ring. This is like a, I don't know, like looks kind of like a cotton filter or something like that. And that's the O-ring for that filter. That is the one that goes by the fuel tank or on the fuel tank. This also is the round filter. It's a cartridge filter. It goes on top of the engine. Literally, you just have to disconnect 3 lines, pull it out, and you're ready to go with a brand new filter. They make it really nice and clean. It has fuel in it, so you have to make sure it doesn't leak out, but it isn't like the old 6 liters where you had to unscrew the top and then pull the filter out and there's like fuel that leaks all over the place sometimes. And this is a lot better solution and it's a lot easier to replace when you're on the road. You can just keep one of these and not have to worry about it. Just throw it in the back of the truck. Also, you could just throw one of these kits in the back of the truck and do it on the side of the road if you needed to. First thing you're gonna do is drain this fuel right here. So you wanna release this. So drain all the fuel out of that filter and it should be like a gallon or so. And then you're gonna just discard it. Pretty much slide this filter back and then just pull it out. And it has a little arrow. Removal, insert. And also there is the water sensor in the bottom, and there also is residual diesel fuel still in there. You want to dump all that out. There's also a little bit of extra debris in there. I'm going to spray it out with some brake cleaner, just so it's all the way clean. It just slides right out. The new kit comes with a new O-ring. Replace it. Make sure you get her nice and seated in there. The new filter comes in a bag, it's zipped. Just pull it out. I could take my gloves off. I don't need the gloves right now because the filter is clean. You're going to do the reverse. You're going to set the filter in and clip her in so it's nice and tight in the clips. And now you're going to reinsert this into the diesel tank. So now that I'm done replacing the diesel filters, I'm going to cycle the ignition a few times just so it fills everything up with new diesel. So you can hear it down there filling up with diesel. Sounds like there's still a little bit of air in it. Make sure there's nothing going on up here. Looks good. Try to start it again. It's definitely kind of a pain just because the fact that you pretty much drain all the diesel out of it. Okay, now that the truck's started, I'm going to check for leaks. That looks good. It doesn't look like there's any leaks from here. There's still a little bit of residual diesel, but that'll go away. And that's pretty much it. So I'm not exactly sure how many miles is on this filter. It may have 72,000, it may have less, but I'm gonna see what's inside this thing. You can see that some of the elements in it are a discolored color other than white. So we're gonna see exactly what is going on inside the new Ford fuel filter. So how I'm guessing that the fuel comes into this system and goes through this filter is fuel comes from the lift pump down through this mesh filter, and then it goes into that kind of reservoir thing that you drain that has the water sensor in it. And then it goes through the filter this way back into the fuel lines to the engine. But how the filter looks on the inside, since the other side is not that dirty, it is relatively clean. I feel like the fuel flows in through this port right here, and the filter media right here is what gets dirty first. But you can't see this. You can see how much dirtier and how much more brown this is compared to the other side. You can see down below right there, it used to look white. And then the back side right here is showing a little bit of dirt and debris in it, but it doesn't look as bad as this. So I'm guessing this filter is probably the original one. I'm not exactly sure, but that's my guess. Just because of how black this is. This almost looks how my 6-liter filter was, and that had like 40 something thousand miles on it. It was like pretty grimy and black and nasty. And I used the hot knife to cut this open just so there wasn't a bunch of random, particles. If I used an angle grinder, it would have, got a bunch of stuff in it. So, yeah, this filter does look super dirty, and I don't know. I'm just glad I changed it. I was kind of wondering what they looked like inside. All it is pretty much a filter media, and then it's like a secondary cotton like media right there, or another like secondary screen, or like maybe the final screen. So pretty much how this works is the fuel, it comes in through this line right here, and then it goes through the filter, goes out through there. And this filter also looks pretty decently dirty. You're not even supposed to be able to take these apart. I just wanted to see what it looked like inside. It's pretty grimy. Looks like there's a little piece of something right there. I mean, other than that, I think it was a good idea to change both these filters. So I'm gonna need to put this sway bar on the F350, And the reason I haven't was because I've been forgetting to get this old rubber bushing that came out of this damaged bracket. I got a new bracket from Ford. I also got new sway bar end links, the ones on the truck. Well, the one on the passenger side is bent, so you know, I got both of them just because. I also got the bushings, but I guess they don't know that they're, you know, they're a little bit beefier. So I'm just going to use the Ford ones and I shouldn't have an issue. Junk out of it. Boink. The sway bar is all bolted on with the new end links, which should be so much nicer. I was surprised how bent these were. Well, at least the one on the wrecked side, the passenger side one, looks almost like a, it almost looks like it was gonna break right there, but it didn't, and it held on, and the sway bar, you know, looks straight, doesn't look like it bent. So, you know, this did its job and bent. Also, this bracket bent and ripped out, but these little things pretty much have little tabs, and that's how they're held in. So it just, you know, pulled them out, which is really nice. So I'm still getting a warning for water in the fuel. I really doubt there is any water in the fuel. So a couple days ago, I ordered the sensor. I'm going to throw that in. Also, I'm going to charge the AC, and it will be getting warm here in the upcoming months. So I'm going to need the AC eventually. So might as well charge it now. To put the sensor in, I'm going to have to drain the diesel again. So that's what I'm going to do now. One more time, hopefully. So she's draining out, and once it stops draining, I'll replace that sensor. Here is the sensor. It has two O-rings. It has a temperature sensor and the water sensing in it. And all you have to do is pretty much just clip it in. It just spins in, no threads. And I'm gonna throw this in. So all you need to do is come and pop this clip off. And just turn this bad boy like so. Like that. I mean, it doesn't look bad or anything, but who knows what happened to it. Put the new one in. I'm going to charge the AC now. First, I need to connect everything, then vacuum it out, and then I could charge the system. So I'm going to connect all the hoses, get it ready. The system is completely drained from the accident, and then I could get it ready and have AC work again. The gauges are connected to the high and low pressure side, and then it goes to the vacuum pump. I don't have these cracked yet. These turn and open the valves, but first I'm gonna vacuum this out. Also, another thing is the refrigerant. You wanna use whatever is specified on your truck, car, whatever you're charging, make sure you put the right refrigerant in it. These cans, the small ones, have the same exact or close to the same as the large ones. They have the ones that are like this tall, but if you read how many ounces are in it, it's like these have 12 and they have like, I think 14 ounces. So I think the cans are thicker. On the tall ones, they put less refrigerant in it because they're thicker.
It's almost the same amount. They cost, these are $5 a can. Those ones are like 25 to 30 bucks a can. And I just get these work perfect. The other thing is just great marketing. They sell them to people that don't know what they're doing or don't know the difference. So buy the little cans, they work just the same. They have almost the same amount of refrigerant, and you spend less. So I have, 20 bucks right here, and that's all I'll need, instead of having, I'd have to use 4 of the tall cans, which would be like 100 bucks. So 20 bucks versus 100, and you have a charged AC system that is icy cold. It's pulling vacuum on the AC system. You can see it's almost at 20 HG of vacuum. So you can see it's almost at 20 HG of vacuum, getting close. I'm gonna let it suck on this thing for like 10 minutes and then I'll start charging it. Now have the vacuum pump disconnected, and you wanna make sure that this is gonna hold the vacuum. So let it sit for like 5 to 10 minutes. Make sure that you don't lose any vacuum. And if you do, you have a leak somewhere that you need to fix. You have bad O-ring, something like that. If it is able to hold the vacuum for 5 to 10 minutes, you should be good to charge the system. So I will wait for 5 minutes, come back to this and see what it's at. So when you're going to connect the can to the AC, you just need to put this little valve on the can, and then it has a little needle that punctures. You're going to connect this end to the hose, and if these cans do get really cold, so when they get cold, you want to get a warm bucket of water. You can submerge the can in the water, and it will keep the outside of the can warm, which will let the Freon go in quicker. I'm adding the first can. You always add to the low pressure side, and I'm going to start the vehicle. I like to fill it up a little bit, just so when I start it, it has a little bit of refrigerant in it to kick the AC compressor on. And what you're going to do, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in the cab, turn on the AC, turn the fan all the way to full blast, and add these cans. The temperature outside today, I think, is like 60 degrees. So with that, I want to be 35 on the low side, 200 on the high side, and then the AC should be charged. So almost caught the truck on fire. The AC compressor, I'm guessing, is locked up. It wasn't touched from the accident, but I'm guessing something happened with it. It is really hot right now. I try to spin the clutch, or not the clutch, but the actual compressor. Usually they spin pretty freely. This one, I can't tell because I couldn't, I tried to touch it and it burned my finger. But it was kind of sketchy because I turned the AC on, started smoking and everything. And yeah, I just need to get an AC compressor to replace that. I was hoping to have the AC charged today, but yeah, that was really scary. I thought the truck was gonna light on fire, and whew, yeah, I mean, that's crazy. I could probably get under there really quick. And is there any water I could spritz on there? Let's see. We got any? Oh, here's some cleaner stuff, just so you can hear how hot this AC compressor is. Oh. So, where are we at? Okay, listen to this. I can't believe it's that hot. That's crazy. Listen. That is really hot. So even with the new sensor in, it's still showing water and fuel. So I'm not sure if there's actually water in the fuel, but I've already used a full tank of gas since I've had the truck. And I don't know, I guess I'll just run another tank of fuel through it and see if it still does it. And then if it does, I'll have to figure something out, because I don't know, I don't like that this light keeps coming on and it's just irritating. I love that I could just turn the cameras on and park with this and not even look at where the lines are at. It's pretty awesome. So that is the end of this F350 video. I am glad the truck didn't burn to the ground. It was pretty scary. I wish I recorded how much smoke there was, but it was just, you know, metal on metal. The clutch on the AC compressor was just, it was spinning it while I was trying to engage it. So it was just smoking and that thing was super, super hot. So, I mean, it probably couldn't have lit on fire, but I mean, the amount of smoke that came out of it, it was pretty scary. So I ordered a new AC compressor, a new serpentine belt, and you know, some other miscellaneous stuff that I forgot to order from Lasco. And that should be here in a couple days. So then once that comes, I could do a video on charging the AC. I was hoping to have it done. Also, the whole water and fuel situation, I replaced the fuel filters. The light came back. So, you know, the fuel filters needed to be done. I'm glad I got those done. Then I replaced the water sensor, and I thought that would resolve the issue. Still came back. I don't believe there's any water in the fuel, but I'm guessing since it keeps showing it, there must be water. If anybody has an insight into what is going on or how to resolve this issue, it's, you know, sometimes comes on, sometimes doesn't. Usually if it comes on, it either comes on when it's warming up like right now, and only sometimes it says reduced power. So I really want to fix that. It's really you know, bothering me because there's a light on the dash, and you know, fixing that would be really nice. Also, people were complaining about me mispronouncing words. Well, I shouldn't be mispronouncing any more words because I had like a spring on the bottom of my teeth, and it's hard to actually pronounce words when your lip is like further out than it's supposed to be, and it gets like stuck. But now that thing's gone, I don't think I should have another one on there again, because my bottom teeth are actually finally straightening out and everything. And as always, if you like the F350 videos, give this video a thumbs up, comment below, click that subscribe button, and see you in the next video.